Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video 7 in my series on how to make house music in Ableton Live 9. In this video, we're going to be looking at arrangement. Now arrangement is really important because if you have all the instruments coming at the beginning of a song, it gets a bit repetitive after about 30 seconds. You want things to come in very slowly or maybe fast depending on what you like. So we're going to be messing around a lot today. We're going to be moving tracks, looping stuff, seeing what we like and just personalizing our song. Now, I recommend looking at your favourite house songs and seeing what they do to arrange their songs and how the different instruments come in. So part of this tutorial is also going to be about organising your layout. So now I recommend actually colouring your tracks so that you know which ones are which and it's easier to identify. So I always make my drums white. So now this track is white, but the tracks inside it are still grey and red. So I'm just going to highlight all of them, make them white. And the same with this. I'm going to change all the colours on these clips to white. Now the way I'm doing this is simply right clicking on the track and then making it the colour. I'm going to make the bass orange, drop it down, press on it, control all of them, right clicking, pressing orange. Doing this with the same, control on all of them, right click, orange. Simple. So I'm just going to do this on every single track I have, just so I make everything tidy and I know where everything is. And I'm going to make the chords a nice, thinking light blue. And there we have it. So for the start of this tutorial, what we're actually going to do is I'm going to move everything along a bit because I have an idea to put the actual chords in the start and I'm going to arpeggiate them. So this is going to be a separate track because I don't like the arpeggiate on the normal chords. So what I've done here is I just click on the first track and then click on the bottom one and hold shift so it selects all of them and then just move it across. So now if we zoom in a bit by pressing on this part where the magnifying glass pops up and zooming in, you'll see that we've got 4 bars of just the chords. Now for purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to make the track about 1 minute long and pretend I'm working on a track that I want to make about 1.5 minutes long. Obviously I recommend about something about 2.5 minutes, 3.5 minutes, something like that. So remember, this is all personal use. In the next video we'll be looking at sound effects because that is something that really adds different ideas and originality to your track. So this first 4 bars, I'm just going to move these chords along before I do anything actually. What I'm going to do, close those down, open up the chords, shift on everything, move it across. Now I'm going to copy this group by pressing Ctrl D. I'm going to rename it to chords ARP and I'm going to move all of the MIDI clips back to the start. But what I'm going to do on each individual track inside the chords ARP group, I'm going to go down to the arpeggiator and turn it on. So now if I press play on each one, because they're all arpeggiated, and I've got it on setting up and down because I really like the sound of that, and I've got the transpose in major, or I should have. There we go. And I've put it in F because that's the key we're working in, so key F just underneath. And now that I've done that, if I press play, then it should sound like this. So I kind of like the sound of that, but I'm still thinking maybe I should try something different. So what I'm going to do is maybe do just down, see what that sounds like. So I'm still not really liking the sound of this, so I'm just going to keep changing stuff. So I'm going to put the target 124, the decay to 10 ms. I'm going to change this to 2 by pressing 2 or just dragging it up like that. Now if I press beat, it should work like this. still not really liking it, so I'm just going to keep messing around until I find something I like. So after messing around, I discovered that the style that I liked was down and up. So after doing that, I'm going to duplicate these tracks so I can make them longer, and I can make more of an intro to the song. So instead of having 4 bars, I'm going to make each one 8 bars. So by doing that, I'm going to find the length of what it is already, which is 4. I press loop, 4, and duplicate. Then I'm going to turn loop off, exit using shift tab as always, drag this out. Unfortunately, I've gone a bit too much. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to keep on doing until I know the effect on the track. So now we have a 10 bar intro, which is about 40 seconds. So I think that's a bit too long. So I'm just going to simply go into here and maybe cut out that. I press delete. Now we have an 8 bar intro, which I think is perfect. So I'm just going to do this on everyone by simply going in, cutting out the last bar, or 2 bars, and there we have it. As I mentioned in one of my videos before, it's always best to work in even numbers. It's a lot tidier and easier to use and work with. So there we go. So now if I close down this window, I now have different intro. So now I'm just going to move all of these tracks along because they have no use for me at the moment. So I'm just going to highlight them by dragging on the tracks and just moving them like that. So now we have this nice intro. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start introducing the drums. In fact, no, I'm going to start introducing the bass. So what I'm going to do is take this bass, highlight all 5 tracks, and just drag them to about, I'm going to say here, and then move everything else a bit further forward so they don't get in our way at the moment. And there we go, moving them. So now we have this. If I play from the 5th bar, here's what it sounds like. So obviously the arpeggiated chords cut out there because I don't really want them. But I'm going to drag in the normal chords so that there's still some more dynamics and texture and we don't lose anything. I'm actually going to add a slight fade to this group. So the way I added a fade, on the group track, I just simply clicked track volume. I put a point at the start and dragged it down. And then I put a point where I wanted it to return back to 0 decibels, which is the even amount. Put that by clicking and just drag in there. So now when we play, so now as you can hear, the chords are starting to kind of overpower the bass. So maybe we're going to switch it around. Remember, this is all up to you. So I'm going to go away and come back once I've done the arrangement. Remember, this is all up to you. So now I'm just going to quickly talk about what I've actually done. And basically, I put the arpeggiated chords at the start, and then halfway through, I've got the bass coming in, so it sounds like this. The reason you can't hear them while the chords are playing is because I got a fade. The way I did this is go to the bass group, track volume, and add the points. Like there and there. And once the bass reaches its maximum volume, I've got the drums coming in. I've done here is made a duplicate track of the lead called lead intro, just previewing the lead. And now I've done the same thing again on the drums and bass, just lowered the volume. Still kept the bass in there though, but I've added a small preview. The reason I left the space here is because I'm going to put sound effect here in the next video. And then once again, I've got everything coming back in using the volume tool. And then I've got these chords coming in down at the bottom. And for the fade, I've got all the instruments playing. And then the drums cut out and the bass, lead and the chords carry on. Until the bass and the lead fade out. And then we're just left with the chords. And I've taken the high pitch chords off. Then the low pitch ones go out. And then the song ends. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you found out something, learned some information on how to arrange your song and how to use colours. Join me in the next episode for more sound effects. It's going to be a really short episode, just dragging stuff in. I'll leave you a download link and how you can use sound effects. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, and peace.